Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Manas Day and this is the first video of my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the state of government jobs in our country and why it's not a good idea to prepare for government job in our country. When it comes to government jobs, these jobs are treated with high regard in our society. And this is the reason why there is crazy amount of competition in these kind of jobs. For example, we saw recently in 2022 that for a peon post in Chhattisgarh, the graduates and undergraduates were applying for this job. And such kind of news keep on coming in media every now and then. But why is so much craze about government jobs? Even when we know that these jobs are not paying so well nowadays. To understand this fact, we must understand the history of government jobs. Government jobs, as we know today, started in the colonial era in 1850s. Well, British started Central Civil Services Examination. You see, British wanted to rule our country and carry the loot from India to Britain. For this, they needed help of locals. Hence, they created Central Civil Services Examination. They created several departments like Public Works Department, Indian Railways, Indian Postal Services, Customs, etc. And in such departments, all the higher posts were led by British officials, whereas the lower posts were created for Indians. These Indians who were working for British were given extra perks and money, which kind of differentiated them from the rest of the mass. And this is where I think the idea of elite culture of government job started in our country. Further, after we gained independence, India was in a very poor state. You can understand the state of India by the fact that only 16% of Indian population at that time was literate. Also, when economic studies were carried out to understand what is the per capita income of India, it was found that as many as 65% of Indians were having a per capita income of only 220 rupees. If you consider that amount to the current value, considering the inflation of 6% over the years, then this value comes around 13,000 rupees. Now, consider the fact that today in 2022, if a person is to be considered below poverty line, his income should be 27,000 rupees. So this was the pathetic state of our country. Indians needed help and government provided those helps. So this is where government jobs again found a higher value in the society, because the government employees provided the basic facilities like healthcare, infrastructure, and other services to the population. Further, prior to 1990s, when private participation in Indian economy was not that much, working in corporate sector was very unsafe when it comes to job security. You see, it was very difficult for small scale and medium scale industries to survive in the Indian system because there were so many draconian laws under the license Raj. It was virtually very difficult for a person to start even a business. So there was not much incentive in working in corporate sector or starting your own business back on 1990s. On the other hand, government sector provided a lot of perks which was not available elsewhere. But things started to change after 1990s. After globalization of Indian economy, many multinational companies started to come in and created high value jobs in key sectors like IT, pharma, automobiles, etc. And these sectors provided very high salaries. So the job security problem of the corporate sector was offset with higher salaries and higher perks. Also, the working environments were better. If a person was good in work, he could have extended his career much faster than their counterparts. So this way, corporate sector started to get light gradually in Indian economy. And I think going forward, this is only going to increase. You see, as India moves from socialism towards the capitalism, the role of government is only going to get lesser. And when role of government is going to get less, the number of jobs created in government sector is only going to reduce. We can already see that happening. You see, recently we have seen key announcements like launching of Agnipath scheme, in which Jawans would be recruited only for 4 years of time. Also, in various government departments, contractual jobs are being created more than the permanent jobs. This gives an advantage to the government in terms of saving in pension and various other perks that a permanent government employee is entitled to get. Further, we are also seeing that government is selling a stake in various PSUs. Also, various government departments which are not making profit are being privatized. So, I think going forward, number of government jobs are only going to get lesser and lesser. So, I advise to any person who is preparing for government jobs to be very, very cautious about their preparation. You have to be very, very sure about why you want to prepare for government jobs. So finally, I'll summarize why one should not go for government sector in today's era. First, government jobs were a charming opportunity prior to 1990s, when private sector jobs were much less and unsafe in India. Second, going forward in Indian economy, many more sectors are going to come up which will create high value jobs, and the salaries and perks in these sectors are going to be much higher than the government counterparts. Third, working in government sector is such that no matter how much you work hard, promotions and moving up the ladder in government sectors is going to be very, very stiff and rigid. You're only going to get a fixed amount of increment every year, no matter how much you work or not work. Contrary to this, in corporate sector, if you have skills and are hardworking, you are going to move up the ladder much more quickly, and the increments in terms of perks and salaries is going to be much higher than government counterparts. Next, number of government jobs is only going to reduce with time as India moves from the socialist economy towards the capitalist economy, and we can already see that happening in the current scenario. So, I think that a person who wants to prepare for government job should be very, very sure and very, very particular about why he wants to pursue government job. If the aim is to work for society, then obviously you should go for government job. However, you must be ready for lesser perks and little to no appreciation for your work. So that's it for today. See you in the next video. If you like my channel, please subscribe to my channel and please put a like to this video.